How's it going, guys? Zach Holden here. I am studying counseling for Virginia State. So I picked one of the cases I found that had what I believe to be maybe one of the common um, reasons for license revocation. Um, a lot of them I was finding were non-payments of um, fees and uh, renewals of licensure payments. So that was interesting, but didn't quite see the importance for this discussion board. So I picked Catherine Ganiwa's LPC. Was revoked. The long short of it was she was an LPC on 2007, and she violated 18 VAC 115.20 130B C 115.20 140A 3 4 7 and 8, which pretty much is the description is that she disclosed confidential information about her clients without their expressed authorization and consent to individual A non-client with whom Miss Ganiwa had a romantic relationship specifically. And it kind of goes into some details about how they know she got caught disclosing this information about a client to one of her friends, specifically someone who she had a romantic relationship with, boyfriend and girlfriend, and they don't say. So it seems to be pretty common. Unfortunately, one of the more common pitfalls is sharing confidentiality, disclosing confidentiality to other individuals. I can definitely see from maybe a counseling perspective how that would get tough. If you are constantly hearing so many people's struggles and downsides, I would see how it would be really tough to kind of be able to kind of prioritize really not sharing with all of your other friends and family like what your work actually is. You just have to kind of say, yeah, I can't really talk about that. That could definitely be tough. So I think that's definitely a common thing that people might go through. How can self-care or lack thereof result in counselor impairment? I think maybe in Miss Ganiwa's situation, maybe she's honestly doing this for the wrong reason. Maybe she's not being heard enough in her own personal time, so she ends up disclosing random information about her work to her friends and family because she needs to just express, kind of get it off her chest. She doesn't have a safe other co-counselor or another professional supervisor that she can bounce these ideas off of. Maybe she's not analyzing her emotional needs at the time. And the ACA Code of Ethics, specifically in F8 C, talks about self-growth is an expected component of counselor education. Counseling educators are mindful of ethical principles when they require students to engage in self-growth experiences. Counsel educators and supervisors inform students that they have a right to decide what information will be shared or withheld in class. And then down in F10A it says sexual or romantic relationships. Counseling educators are prohibited from sexual or romantic interactions or relationships with students currently enrolled in counseling or related programs and over whom they have power and authority. This prohibition applies to both in-person and electronic interactions or relationships. So both of those things relate to the scenario. I think not specifically sexual misconduct. That was a different case that I had looked at, but she is in a romantic relationship with this individual that she's sharing this information with. Although it's not her client, she is not really practicing at least from the idea of it, any self-growth experience or anything that she's clearly sharing this reason because she's not able to share other things in her life going on, or she's unable to share this information with someone who has a professional horizontal level of status that she can disclose this information without it being breaching confidentiality. So yeah, I mean, the ACA Code of Ethics says pretty much don't do these things. Make sure your needs are getting met. Make sure you're not being in a romantic relationship with your clients or sharing information with people, even though you are in a romantic relationship with them. I think for me, it kind of just makes me really eval a lot of what are my needs, what needs to be met before I kind of walk into a counseling session, what needs to be met before I go about my day. So needs to be heard, needs to be sought after, affected, know that I'm here, different things like that. It's good to be aware of these things and kind of realize when my tank's getting a little low to be mindful of that, not to bring it into my work and out of my work, taking it and potentially running the risk of losing a license because of not maintaining my mental health. So yeah, definitely studying these cases kind of woke me up to the downsides and pitfalls of many counselors who void their license based on breaching confidentiality, being in sexual relationship with their clients, failing to pay their fees. So it definitely opened my eyes up. So I'm definitely more eager to learn about my own personal needs and how to kind of get a proper perspective on that so I can maintain it and not run into the issues that these people are falling into. All right, have a good rest of your night.